believe that your pitch at Start Peninsula was one of the best pitches I've ever seen, and it was I was a judge during that event. It's a build a company in a weekend competition, and it was like it was very easy to pick you as the winner. Your pitch was articulate. Like, what is your go-to strategy when presenting on a stage where there's a performance, or when you're raising capital? Because I think all too often people are asking that question, how do I raise money? And sometimes people just fall in love with people in their pitch where they're like, wow, that was good. Like, and it's remarkably different, right? Like, there are people there that are just garbage, right? They're just like, that's a harsh word, but they're not as good. And then you see you and you're just like, yep, she's gonna win. Like, you knew it immediately, and I think Tim would probably agree. He wasn't a judge, but like you could watch it and you see it, right? And the nail gun guys 2 years ago, what was their name? Handy something, Tim? Safety Nailer. They were on Shark Tank recently. Like, you just know it sometimes, right? So like, how do you get good at that? What's your go-to pitch?
We've done lots of different pitches, right? So it's the pitch competitions, like to get grant money, like that's different than fundraising. We have like 32 different pitch decks right now, right? I think that's part of your equation to your question is, who is your audience? Like, you can't take, like, if I had taken the same pitch deck that I won that competition with to a VC investor, like, we would have gotten nowhere, right? Like, you have to know what your audience is looking for, and knowing how to keep, your business model is the same, your core values are the same, your service is the same, but how do you tell a different story to who you're actually talking to? And I will take maybe 1% of any credit for the fundraising that we've done on the VC side, because Liza as CEO has totally taken that over, and she is remarkable. I don't think we've had anybody say a hard no because I don't want to. If there's been a no, it's been, not the right time. We don't invest in that type of thing. Like, the no's that you're like, okay, I still did a good job. That no was meant to be a no.
Do you deep dive on that no? So like, I remember one of the questions I asked Damon John when I interviewed him. I said, what do you do when you get a no in business? And he goes, well, a no is an absolute maybe. I have to deep dive into figuring out why that no was a no. So, and I think this is where a lot of people quit too, where they hear their no and they're like, oh, I'm so sad. Like, are you deep diving when that happens to figure out why they're saying no? Or are you just like, whatever, and what they told me I'm believing?
Yeah, no, I think there's a total opportunity there. There's like several reasons for no, right? No, they just weren't interested, which is fine. Like, not everybody is going to be interested in what you have to say. There's a no because something fundamentally you missed in the pitch, or you didn't answer the question the way they wanted you to, and that's just a learning opportunity. Like, they won't always give you feedback, but again, depending on the type of pitch, you can say, hey, what was the no for? Like, thank you for your time. Do you have any pointers for me? And I think that's the biggest one is the ego can't exist in those situations. Like, you can't take it personally because there's so much opportunity to learn and do better and make the next one a yes. If you take no's or feedback personally, like, you're almost just going to wreck your own train before you can get any further. And I've seen that happen even in some of the things I've done with you all here in the Peninsula areas. You can see some people's like defensiveness before they've even started or gotten questions, and like, you're just like, no, learn, take the opportunity. Like, this isn't about you, although it's all about you. Like, I think that's
but I have the next best thing and I'm going to be great. Well, then you should listen, because all these people can jump on board with you. But if they think you're a donkey, they're not going to want to like you. Like, I don't.
To back it up. To back it up just a little bit further, you said that you had 32 different pitch decks, and the thing is that you all are willing to put in the work, and that's also a big differentiator between you and everyone else. And one of the big phrases that we say in our house is that you can't take the elevator to the top; you have to take the stairs. And by doing 32 pitch decks, you're taking the stairs to the top. So credit to you, and that's a big reason that you have the success that you have.
Yeah, the steps are what it's all about. Like, you can't skip steps. And when you do, even inadvertently, you'll know very quickly, like, oh, okay, we went from here to here. We probably need to go back and build a couple steps before we can be really solid here.
Well, you learn so much during that, right? I think that's what you're saying is like, I mean, and to get back for the fitness stuff, like, you learn so much running for all that time. Like, Think about from a cooking perspective. You learn so much by making a dish that had too much salt in it or whatever it might be. In a business, like if you just constantly win and don't have anything to learn from, when it does happen 10 years later, when you lose, you're like, whoa, I don't know what to do. And so I think businesses should be looking for these challenges. They should be looking for these no's because they can learn so much from them. And it's super valuable. And I love the feedback that you gave where it's like, hey, like you're here to learn. You're here to like understand what's going on. Like grasp that and enjoy that ride.